I guess we could go down the TikTok feed. Is that something you want to do? Or I could stop this stream and I could do my fucking job narrating the book that's due Monday. I could just narrate, which is my job, until we get to spicy parts, and then I can't narrate those.
I accidentally attended a Christmas orgy party. My first one ever, and it was my total accident.
Wait. I'm curious.
It wasn't long after this, and a man walks through the door wearing a Santa hat, a Santa beard, and nothing else.
Yeah, that tracks.
And then they start passing around the keys. Pulling out the keys.
Why are they passing around keys? Oh, wait, how do you know that? Wait a minute. Swinger parties have a bowl filled with all the keys that you use to draw partners. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm okay. Hold on. I'm gonna sound real stupid, real ignorant of the knowledge of what occurs during swingers. They pick by keys. You do it by the keys. But what if you're not like into somebody that like? What if you draw a key and like you turn? And like, you're like, oh, fuck, all right, like, I'm so ready, I'm gonna get into this, like, I'm ready to go, blah, blah, blah. And you're like fishing around and you're like, yeah, and then you draw it and you look and you're like, fuck, it's a Honda Accord. And you look across the room as you slowly lower it and you're like, this is Steve's keys. And meanwhile, like, Steve's across the way going, like, Steve is ready to go. Steve has been waiting for this moment. Like, this is Steve's moment. And meanwhile, you're just holding that key, going like... But like, is it rude to put the key back and draw a different key? I'm just saying, like, how... You can't put the key back? I'm not saying anything's wrong with a Honda Accord. I'm simply saying Steve drives the Honda Accord, so like, you know the Honda Accord belongs to Steve. You can't put the key back? That's so bullshit. So like, you just have to deal with it? Like, no. You get one trade. Yeah, but like, what if you go to trade and nobody wants to trade you for Steve's key? Meanwhile, Steve's like sauntering up and he's like, hey, it's gonna be a good night. And like, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna sell this car on the black market. Oh boy. Nobody wants Steve. You take one for the team. No, that can't be how that works. You can't just take one for the team. Scare him off. What if you can't though? What if it's like, Steve's a freak, bro? Like, sorry. Also, if anybody out there is named Steve, my apologies. I just picked a name. It's nothing personal. You're probably really cool. I know about a lot of things. This is apparently not one of them. I'm gonna rip your balls off, Steve. Oh, I like that. God, what can I make you say? What can I say to make you leave, Steve, please? Kiss him and then immediately vomit into his mouth. No, because that's how we got notorious videos on the internet. Tell Steve you're proud of him. I guarantee the legitimate emotional intimacy will turn him off. Steve's secretly there for the humiliation. He's not saying it, but we all know that's what he wants. I didn't choose the keys. I'm just saying, what if you're at a party like that and then you pick the key and then you're like, oh man. So people just go on about business even though they're like, nah, man, I'm not really into this, but I'll, like, a hole's a hole. Like, what are you supposed to do? Steve, listen, I need to explain. This is my first time doing this. I'm sure you're a sweet person and I'm sure all of you is good, but honestly, I'm not interested in having my first swinger be a guy like that with an adult diaper on. I don't care that the other 7 inches are actually in the diaper, but like, dude, I think I just got the wrong key and I'm just definitely not gonna be comfortable. Okay, let me just go to the bathroom for 5 minutes. I'm just gonna climb out the window. No, I can't. I don't know what's happened. This has gone off the rails. This is not. Run the ads. Give me back my pants. We're wild. I didn't do anything. I'm just facilitating. This is their fault. I just saw that and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Is that how that works? What would happen? I'm gonna doodle a stick guy holding a key and it's just gonna say Steve. So it's literally gonna be a stick figure holding a shitty key and it's just gonna say Steve, and that's gonna be the next merch. And this is gonna be on you. This is gonna be y'all's motherfucking fault. And no one's gonna get it No one's gonna understand. But then there's gonna be at least 5 people wearing shirts that just have a doodle on it with a guy with a key and the word/name Steve. We need art of dad pulling the key out of the bowl. No! Why? I'm gonna wind up getting shit-faced, and I'm gonna write an entire, like, novella based on Steve's keys, and it's literally gonna be called Steve's Keys. And you guys are gonna be the only ones that fucking know. Can the key have Steve's name on it too? But it's like a shitty duct tape with, like, poor scrawling that just says Steve's. We can no longer pull out, guys. Our hand is in the bowl, fingers are on the keys. We can't pull out. It's too late. Also, I need you guys to know really fast that Riley drew the keys. Those are Steve's keys. The fact that one of them has a smiley face is perturbing. And can I point out the fact that it wouldn't surprise me if Steve's keys were in fact on like a ring like that is intended for a strap. And I feel like that would be perfectly in character for Steve. That's gonna be my cringe content. I'm gonna start making stickers and making like cringe content of Steve, and it's just gonna be back and forth between Steve and I. Steve wants extra chances, so he just dumps extra Honda Accord keys into the fucking bowl. Motherfucker just shows up and is like, 1, 2, 3, the keys. There's 45 keys in the bowl, 40 of them are Steve's. Why are you like this, Harrison? Why does Steve have a complete background now? Steve's sad because all he wanted to do was just chat. He was putting on a show and was actually super nervous about the prospect of being involved, especially because he'd just come out of a breakup with somebody who cheated on him with his kid's lacrosse coach. Steve secretly loves Marley and me, but doesn't watch the last 15 minutes to avoid a sad ending. I'm gonna 3D print a bunch of keys and they're just gonna say Steve on them. This is your guys' fault. Steve doesn't play Dungeons and Dragons. He's actually super into cyberpunk and knows one of the guys who wrote the hacking stuff for the OG TTRPG. He also bakes a really good pie crumble when he comes from Orchard Town in Indiana. Why are you making me feel... Steve doesn't even exist. Why are you making me feel bad? You make me feel bad that I didn't just get to know Steve. This is so shitty. You just don't like his car of choice. Why? Why are you giving me shit? We've turned around the Steve lore from him being a creep to being a super shy guy who did nothing wrong. Can I just point out, though, that is peak Legion. It's like, no, we just need to get to know Steve. Maybe Steve is just not that guy. You know, Steve needs some time to acclimate. Steve drives a 2009 Honda Accord that he's actually taken very good care of. He occasionally Ubers and is one of the few mask-presenting men who are allowed to advertise themselves to women and not be judged. He has a photo of his kids and puts sweets in the cubbyhole. He's also chill with you if you ask to go to a drive-thru and won't ask for anything. Even offers to pay for you if you're short on cash. He's got a decent stock portfolio that pays well enough. We built this man a whole ass life. Steve took my job and my partner. He must pay. Of course, we have to discuss Steve's ex, Elizabeth. She's one of the bitches that goes by her full name and doesn't respond in any way if you call her by any nickname. Her daddy made the right investments and wound up wealthy during the tech bubble of the late 1990s. She was majoring at humanities, but flunked and wound up trying to become an influencer. She's now in a menage a trois with the lacrosse coach and his artist boyfriend who paints art with his schmeeness. I don't like that. The legend of Steve is now eternal. I'm never gonna live this down. I can't continue this behavior any longer. You guys have utterly ruined my evening.